Yes, that was New Jersey and New York. Let's see exactly what's going on. Someone did mention medications coming in at it. Even with tomatoes, this is not usual. I mean, I know we be low over here in my parts of New Jersey, but hey fam, welcome back to another video. It is Saturday, so happy Saturday. This is Shauna, and I'm officially checking in over here at Moments with Us. You guys, check in. Let us know where you are watching from and how you are doing. Let's go ahead and see what's going on this Saturday with our news, comments, and reports. Let's get us something to drink. I got some sugar-free coffee, y'all. It's all right though. And let's go ahead and see what's happening this Saturday. So hopefully you all have an amazing weekend, because today is Saturday. How's your spring going so far? Let's go. All right, fam. So some serious things is happening. It's just quite strange. I just want to touch on this real quick. So Hubs, he was talking to me. And he was like, isn't it strange we had a 4.8 magnitude earthquake at one point? And then this whole eclipse is supposed to be happening 4/8, which is actually, it's Monday, y'all. And a lot of people, they're actually saying this whole thing is biblical with the eclipse this time around. So we're just going to wait and see. It's the better part of being prepared, just in case we have like power outages. We can't go into the stores. What if, something happened on the road seriously? And at least in my area, what if certain blocks was blocked off and I couldn't get to where I had to go? I would have been already in the house for a little while. That's just the better part of being prepared. My head would have been a little crazy because the kids would have, kids would have been home. The kids home anyway. They on spring break. Let's go ahead and get to today's video started. Check in. Let us know if you felt that earthquake yesterday. We did have an aftershock in the evening time. So, yeah, we felt that one as well, at least in my parts. So check in. Let us know if you felt it as well. All right, let's go ahead and get today's reports going. All right, family. So another nationwide recall, and we all have some type of sweet tooth. So here's a candy recall as nationwide warning have been issued, y'all. Concerns of potentially fatal allergic reaction have been sparked nationwide following a candy recall. So the FDA shared a voluntary recall announcement from Apple Valley, Minnesota's Abdallah Candies to its website on Monday. The recall concerns limited quantities of the company's sea salt almond alligators, which were mislabeled as chocolate-covered cherries, and marked with the code 0315 on the bottom of the box. So due to the mislabeling, the affected boxes contain the undeclared ingredient almonds, which could cause the sometimes fatal condition if you have an allergic reaction to almonds. A fatal condition, anaphylaxis, could come along in those with the tree nut allergy. So here's a picture of that box of candies. It's like an assortment of candies. So if you do have this and you are allergic to almonds, you might definitely want to toss that out or take it back for your money. I can actually see this next issue becoming a major problem over the next couple of years, because this problem is actually only getting worse and they are spreading. Migrants have been a huge issue, especially in places like New York and in New Jersey. So my parts in New Jersey, we see a lot. When I say a lot of migrants. So it's becoming a huge issue with them taking over New York. They're having an issue right now with the children not being in school, and they're actually outside selling candy and food. So some huge safety concerns with that they're discussing in this here article. So NYC sets up task force to get migrant children who's selling snacks on the streets and subways into school. So they're trying to get them into school. Granted, a lot of things have been given to migrants. Really have. They've been granted with food and shelter and money and, everything that they need to just sit in place, basically. So they go on to say it's heartbreaking and common sight in New York City. Children selling snacks on the streets and subways instead of spending their days at school, which is actually given to their children. Their children are allowed to receive free education, at least in New York. So a concerned lawmaker doesn't want a busy thoroughfare in the southwest part of Queens to become a boulevard of death for migrant children put on the streets to sell food and drink. So that's something that they actually do back like in their countries. They do have a lot of vendors on the streets where they sell like food and snacks and clothing items back where they're from. So definitely it seems like that's what they're trying to do over here. So someone comes in and say, this the councilwoman, she came in and said it's 100% the safety of these kids. I've seen these children, they're young, they're 5, they're 6, they're getting bored, so they're making makeshift slides and using a 2x4 to slide directly into Woodhaven Boulevard. That is crazy. So Ariola has been trying for well over a year to get the city to do something about the hordes of migrant children of all ages sitting to the subways or on busy street corners to sell candy and food. So these children are actually sit out there to sell items, subways and busy street corners. Come on, instead of going to school. So their truancy is not being addressed. There's also the question of where are they getting the items to sell? When they're asked, they say that someone comes from far away to give it to us. So they're also being exploited by people who are using them to sell their goods on the street. So the mayor of New York, he did go ahead and appoint a multi-agency task force to go into the shelters to convince parents to send their kids to school. But it should be the same they should get the same consequences, because if we don't send our kids to school, people are definitely after us. You know what I'm saying? So Adams came through and said, I saw that in Ecuador, I saw that in Mexico, I saw that in Colombia. So sometimes people bring their culture and how practices are done into the city. And we want to make sure that people understand that children should be in school. New York City have been generous to the asylum seekers. So they're receiving debit cards now. Can I get a daggone debit card, please? They have, they have lodging. They have free call centers. Someone said they have free medical care. They're getting free education. There's no need for migrants to become part of the problem of illegal street vending. So the Adams administration says it will also make sure the parents know about safe after school programs and child care referrals. Let me tell y'all, I needed after school care for 2 of my children. They want $250 a week per child and 10% off, of course, for the second child. Excuse me. Can I get it for free? It's just quite ridiculous. But yeah, they're getting all of this stuff for free and still sending their children out there to basically sell goods. They have the free money, they have the free medical, they have the free school, they have the free everything. So what is really going on? If you love shrimp and you do shop at Walmart, Aldi, and some other places, stay tuned for this because it might not be so good after all. So an Indian company sold contaminated shrimp to U.S. grocery stores. Whistleblower says. So Congress is looking into allegations of antibiotic positive shrimp at a choice canning factory that supplies Walmart, Aldi, and other supermarkets. This story just seems to get crazy. So Joshua, he actually packed up and moved to India. He said he was making $300,000 a year. So he packed up and moved from Pennsylvania all the way to India. 8,000 miles. And he said when he got there, he could not believe what he was saying. Fernella, that's his last name. He said he became deeply disturbed by what he was witnessing. Here he go. So his company, Choice Canning, supplies shrimp to major U.S. grocery chains, including, listen to this, y'all, because I know some of us be buying shrimp out of these places. So they supply shrimp to Walmart, Aldi, ShopRite, and H-E-B. So they're saying like this is a top tier processing plant. And they commit to standard quality shrimp. But this man is saying he soon discovered that Choice Cannon operated unsanitary off-site peeling sheds and routinely approved the export of shrimp tainted with antibiotics in violation of U.S. food safety law. So the company's treatment of workers was equally jarring to Fenella. He said, migrant workers rarely had days off, slept in overcrowded bedbug-infested dorms, and were restricted from leaving the walled-off company compound. And Ampala Pruma, probably saying that wrong, according to Fenella. They were mostly women who were often recruited from the poorest section of the country. Y'all hear this? Because right about now, with the migrants being shipped over to New York all over the place, yeah, just pay attention. They're going to fulfill their part the same way they're doing it here. So Fenella, he actually went ahead and left the job after 4 months, but not before recording conversations with the senior leadership and capturing video footage of conditions at the plant and at an off-site peeling facility. The consumers need to understand that they've been purchasing a contaminated product that was made by people who don't have the luxury of going home. So he said that he went ahead and filed a whistleblower complaint with the FDA and other regulators detailing his allegation and has shared it with members of Congress. But do you think that they're going to care? So this is like the, oh my God, this is the insect bed bugs and oh my God, horrible. These are the conditions though. So U.S. lawmakers are looking into this. That's what they're saying. About the farm shrimp industry globally and more recent findings about India in particular. So in a letter dated March 18th, ranking Democrats on the House Committee on Natural Resources requested documents and recordings from Fenella in response to his complaint. So the letter referenced the committee's ongoing efforts to reduce human rights violations and increase transparency in the seafood supply chain. So they're now going ahead and they're looking at I guess they're investigating at this point. But I say just stay away from it at this, right now. So a lot of companies, this happening a lot. A lot of companies, they do hire immigrants. A lot of companies hire immigrants because one, they can overwork them and they will accept little pay. But it really sucks because guess what? The stuff that's being produced and handled by these immigrants are being put on our shelves for us to buy. So we do know dairy cattle in Texas and Kansas did test positive for the bird flu not too long ago. This can possibly drive up prices and cause shortages on the shelves even more. So just pay attention to that as well. So just to break it down a bit, milk from dairy cows in Texas and Kansas has tested positive for the bird flu, U.S. officials said Monday. The illness has been reported in older dairy cows in those states and in New Mexico. The symptoms include decreased lactation and low appetite. It comes a week after officials in Minnesota announced that goats on a farm where there had been an outbreak of bird flu among poultry were diagnosed with the virus. It's believed to be the first-time bird flu, also known as highly pathogenic avian influenza, was found in the U.S. livestock. All right, so just a heads up, someone did come through and say, good day, everyone. I work at a major beverage company, and Walmart is one of two grocery stores I work. Winn-Dixie is another, very near the village, Florida. A good friend of mine who works for the same company, we both have noticed that inflation hasn't stopped people from buying their drinks. When I walk in the next day and see how much product they've bought, my comment is, what inflation? People will spend $50 on drinks alone and not blink. Also, I'm not seeing a lot of shortages or outs at either of the stores. My wife and I prepare, but often wonder when or if will something happen where our preps be worth it. So here's the thing. Essentially, you're not preparing for the end of the world, right? We're not preparing for the end of the world because if we was preparing for the end of the world would end and there will be no need for our preps, right? So as we discussed before, plenty of times, as we discussed before, and plenty of times, we prepare for our everyday events. As mentioned before, if we're having financial issues, lockdowns, if another lockdown occur, at least you will have items in your home. If you're sick and you can't get out, at least you will have items in your home. Possibly if you have children, sometimes you got to do what you have to do, and it does require you to stay in the house, or maybe you have adult children who need items and you don't have to come out your pocket. Guess what? You have it at home. Y'all know adult children love shopping in their parents' homes. Tell me I'm lying. Um, we prepare for a lot of things. When people prepare, it's not because of the end of the world. It's because any and everyday things that can possibly happen. When you're preparing, the importance, I think we mentioned this last week, but I'm starting to hear this question more. We mentioned this last week. If you're preparing, you're rotating your items. This way you do not feel as if your items are going to waste. They do have some like lifelong shelf stable items that you possibly don't have to rotate out. But it's better to just rotate items out, especially if these are items that you use on a daily. And with the prices still going up, maybe you just don't have it one day. That's when we rely on our stockpile, our prepper's pantry, and that's pretty much what it is. We're preparing for our everyday life events. Anything could happen at any time. You could be working one day and not working the next day. With the price of groceries, household supplies, and everything nowadays, at least you can go ahead and take that out of your budget just in case your income do decrease. Just another dire warning. Someone did say if you think prices are bad now, just wait. We own a small trucking company and just got our yearly insurance renewal. Oh my. Nothing changed coverage wise, and it went up 40%. Eventually, that increase will have to go into the price to haul and eventually get passed down to the consumer, which is how it works, unfortunately. So if we start to see prices jump, all over again, here's a possibility why. We got to take into consideration, the budget of the producer. Now, if their prices and they're getting charged extra, then unfortunately we get charged more too, which then actually runs smaller businesses out of business. A few items that caught my eyes by surprise. A can of Dole is $2.19. I did not notice that. Tricks, so-called large size, is now $6.59. That much for one box of cereal. Did they just go back up in price again? I remember the cereal touching a little bit over $4 and change, but $6.59 for a large size. And what is up with the large size? First it's the regular size, then they say it's large size, then it's family size, then it's mega size. They're lying. And then pancake mix. Pearl Millen is now $4.49 for a regular box of Pearl Millen pancake mix. I thought I was honestly tripping at that point, but come to find out, I was not. Now that is quite ridiculous. If you're already stockpiling the flour and sugar and whatever other items that you plan to use to make your pancake mix, great job. Because for one box, oh yeah, that's ridiculous. So some things I have not had to buy because I've been faithfully using it from my stockpile. So I went to go look at the price of aluminum foil. Even the store brand is $9.99 for 200 square feet. I did not know even store brand aluminum foil have jumped up that bad in price. Now let's talk about that Reynolds wrap. Now they've been went up in price, but what I did not know is that they actually went up in price again. I'm glad they had a little sale though. I didn't still buy it because I think that's still too much. $21.49 for the 175 square feet of aluminum foil. Were they for real? They were for real. The price of aluminum foil is just quite darn ridiculous. Granted, it is a double pack, but individually, it's still bringing you down to a little over $10 per pack of aluminum for you. So let me know where you guys purchase aluminum foil from. Because at that price, yeah, even at the sale price, it's going to stay exactly where it's at. So as we sit here and we discuss the troubling times that we are living in, are you still continuing to do what you have to do? Are you still continuing to prepare? What are some things that you are preparing for if it's not mentioned during this video? Like I said, it become more of a lifestyle. This way you're not constantly thinking. I believe people who are rushing to think about prepping, one, like I said, is a lifestyle. It causes people to panic buy, and they buy a whole lot of unnecessary things that they don't use or eat or whatever the case may be. And then they start going mentally mad. It's not that. It's more so of a lifestyle. So yeah, are you guys still doing what you have to do? Are you keeping your stockpiles filled? If you can, are you now living off of your stockpile? And that saved you, basically because you don't have the money right now. Like a lot of us, running low on funds, tapping into our savings, emptying our savings just to make it out here. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot, and I definitely get it. And this is coming from Shauna over here at Moments with Us. I definitely understand from almost every single angle. So we're going to leave this video right here where it's at. If you are new here and you did enjoy today's video, all you have to do is press the subscribe button. And if you've been here before, of course, thank you so much for coming back. This is Shauna, and I'm officially checking out from Moments with Us. And yes, you all should have an amazing rest of your weekend. And most of all, remain beautiful queens and kings. Until next time, y'all, I'm officially up out of here. Peace out.